Not, I don't think I will need one. I'm gonna become sweat monster. To figure out how to get my shoes because we're swimming in the lake today. We are hiking Colchuck today. Colchuck is 8 miles round trip. It's part of the Enchantments Trail. We are here on a Sunday and the parking lot is packed. We are just going to Colchuck, but there's also opportunities to do like the whole Enchantments, backpacking, other trails. So very, very busy on Sunday morning. We are about a half mile from the trailhead. So that'll add an additional mile round trip. But should be good. The sun is out over here, so should be wonderful to go swimming once we actually get to the lake itself. We are almost there. I am so ready to be there and have my sandwich and most importantly my Diet Coke. But I'm hoping all the uphill is for the most part done. I'm just so ready to be there. I wanted to come on here and kind of close out my Colchuck hiking video. So the hike itself is pretty difficult. I wasn't expecting it to be so much harder than Mount Storm King was because the elevation gain is about the same, but the distance is longer. So in theory, the idea was that it would be not as steep, but I don't know. It just kind of felt like you were just constantly climbing, 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 and Mount Storm King has the decency to be short. Going up the mountain took a lot longer than I was expecting. I'm curious if I had thicker soled shoes. My feet were really hurting on this hike in a way that I wasn't anticipating, but I did like having my hiking boots for the stability because the trail can be quite steep and rocky and you might want to have that stability, but I wonder if I would have had more comfort if I was in a more lightweight, high cushioned trail runner. I'll be really interested to go trail running shopping soon and try those out because normally I just wear my hiking boots, but I've heard those are heavier, so that's for another time or video, and definitely to try it out on a more trail running appropriate hike. It took me over 4 hours to get up that mountain, which was just not what we were hoping for. I definitely would say to get to Colchuck as soon as possible because of the crowds, but also just so that you have time at the lake to enjoy. So got to the lake and hung out there for a little bit over an hour because we were worried about sunset. And you will be in the dark if you don't leave early enough. So went swimming in the cold frigid waters, which was, I actually found very enjoyable. I found Goat Lake to be much colder. I really could only stay in Goat Lake for about a minute or two before needing to get out of it. Whereas Colchuck, I was just really enjoying it. It felt so good after such a strenuous hike to be in this like polar plunge, ice and sore muscles type of feeling. It's just, we hiked down the mountain and did beat total darkness. So we got to my car around like 8:45, 9 o'clock, and then I saw a helicopter overhead. And in the next couple days, I found out that somebody had drowned in Colchuck Lake, probably about an hour after we left the lake. And it aligns with that helicopter sighting. And I don't know all of the information. A man drowned in the lake, and I feel like there's some theories about it being like a temperature shock type of situation. And I just wanted to, I don't know, air out some ideas about safety. My friends and I totally talked about making sure we had visibility when jumping in to make sure I didn't hit any rocks, because a lot of these areas could be quite rocky, and just making sure that I didn't hit anything when jumping in. I also didn't jump in too high. I see people jump off of much higher cliffs, and if you're familiar with the lake area, that's great, but I wasn't too, would have to do more exploring before I felt comfortable jumping at such a height from a rock like that. I would have to make sure that there's really nothing that I would land on or smash into, as well as becoming acclimated to the water. So I got up about halfway of my calf before jumping in, and I was very comfortable with the water. I feel very comfortable with cold water for a myriad of reasons, but if, like I said, I don't know a lot of the reports, but I saw some folks talking about that if you are overheating from such a strenuous hike and then you jump into this frigid alpine lake, the body can go into shock. I'm not sure if that's what happened, if he hit something, if he wasn't a great swimmer. I don't know what happened. But this is nature, and it is so important to do all the precautions that we can to make sure that you have satellite phone or SOS devices. There is no signal up there. So I have my Zoleo. I saw a couple Zoleos and Garmin's on the trail. So to make sure you're able to call for help. Of course, animal protection, make sure you're watching where you're going with all of these cliffs and slips and rock ledges, and just, I did, when I was getting out of the water, I did kind of slip a little bit on some rocks, and I got scraped up and beaten and bashed on my legs. I had like 2 big bruises, 3 big scrapes. Thankfully, it was not as terrible as it could have been. I really almost thought I caught myself. But yeah, it's just important to, I don't know, just be a little safe. Like, these videos can be really romantic and exciting and carefree, and you think, you have so much control over nature and you are there to have a really good time, but so many little things can go wrong, and I definitely don't want to equate my scrapes and bruises to somebody, losing their life, but I don't know, it's just such a sobering feelings. This is a super popular hike, and I just wanted to air out some safety things. I've seen different TikToks of people not taking the correct safety precautions, like running down the mountain at night, being locked out of their car, not bringing enough water. For my opinion, I saw a lot of people on the trail that I would say was in inadequate shoes, like Crocs and sandals and flip-flops. But just trying to be as prepared and not as naive with these types of hikes. Like, just because everybody can go doesn't mean that it's not treacherous. I also saw an article recently that the enchantment regions of Washington are only being patrolled by one person due to budgetary cuts, and so that's also something to think about in terms of having the resources to contact somebody, but hoping that they'll be able to patrol and to get you as well. So just, it's just so sad. Colchuck is probably one of the hardest hikes that I have done because of the elevation gain and the length, but the lake at the top is so gorgeous, and it really was a dream to swim in the Gatorade waters, and I'm just so sorry that something so tragic happened. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Please, please, please be safe out there, get home safely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.